All right, guys, so in this video, I just wanted to look at another mock MLB relocation stadium, give my grade on it. These type of things are really cool to me, and I will link the official website where this is located. This is the same place I got the Las Vegas, stadium model. This is another one that's just super in-depth. It's for potentially relocating the Tampa Bay Rays. I don't think the Rays will be relocated at this point. I'm guessing they'll get money for a new stadium. And this is kind of interesting. Louisville Kings, the overall design. And let me just say, when you look at this, this was, I guess, somebody's final project. I mean, it is so in-depth. It's better than anything, any type of rendering we would get from like a team getting a new stadium. Like we just saw Utah come out and pitch for a team, and all those renderings are crap. But this stadium, it's got a hotel. It's really impressive. So I'm going to give my review on it. I'm going to say what I would change, things like that. You can see, that's a nice logo right there. If this actually was for somebody's final project, listen, they need some bonus points or something. This is really nice. Louisville Kings, and you can see the proposed move right there, kind of the outside of the stadium called the Palace. Some of the inspiration they took in terms of the overall design. This is super in-depth, but you can just see the overall look of it. You can see the nice little crown on the field, and then that is looking directly in. My only concern with a stadium like this, it does look like it has a very limited capacity. There's a few things that I would change that we'll go over, but like just looking at this right off the bat, I love the small upper deck, the good seating all around. This is a true modern design. Very similar to Busch Stadium, which is one of my favorite stadiums. Very, very clean. You can see it looks like there's a restaurant like right behind home plate, right up actually above the upper deck. And then you also do have, looks like some office spaces there as well. This is just the outline of it. You've got a nice little upper club, home plate club, dugout club, the suites along the first and third base lines, and then also a little sideline club. That's something that I'm not a real big fan of personally. If you're going to bring like the exclusive seating, that's something the Yankees do. I feel like they take the exclusive seating too far, and it goes like too far down the line. So that's probably something I would not have, just because it just almost feels too much. Like there's too much of that type of seating. I'd rather it just be general public seating and keep like the exclusive stuff right behind home plate. But that's anecdotal. And then you do have a restaurant way up top. You can see the overall design, kind of like the castle type architecture. I really like that. And very, very unique. I don't think we've seen that anywhere, where it looks like you've got a nice restaurant right above the upper deck. And again, in terms of like seating, I mean, those seats are phenomenal. There's really nothing when it comes to like being too far away from the plate, going with the smaller look, going with the more modern seating. I really like that. With views of downtown, the restaurant will be open all year round. So yeah, we've seen things in terms of the upper deck with some of these stadiums, especially Coors Field comes to mind, but nothing right behind home plate. And I do think if you are being realistic about it, in terms of actual capacity, a normal design would just to have that be seating instead of like a restaurant. But I think that is really, really cool. You do also have some nice little offices, looks like skyscraper type buildings above the upper deck that you can view the game from. So that is something that is really cool as well, that we don't really see at all in terms of the MLB. I do think if you need more seating, instead of having one of those offices, you could also extend the upper deck and add another section of seating, kind of where those office views would be if you needed more seating. This is the official view from, probably the restaurant area. I mean, this thing, you take a look at right field, the seating, I love the design. Very, very nice. It looks like you've got a nice little Budweiser bar out kind of in foul territory beyond the right field foul pole. Left field, you've got a nice lower bowl, and then you also do have a hotel. But yeah, just looking at this, the one thing that I would really change, and this is just kind of my preference, with the center field, I would turn it into the exact same thing they did at Busch Stadium and make it a green patch. And I just love the idea, like the look of it. It looks so professional. You know, the green patch that is really low in terms of like the grass length. It's almost like I would make it a green area and then cut the grass really low like they do on greens, just because I think it looks so professional. So that's the only like really big change I would make in terms of that. But yeah, this is a super in-depth ballpark. You can see the overall fences. 334 down the left field line. This is a pretty standard looking MLB stadium in terms of the dimensions. 400 to dead center, 336 down the right field line. Nothing too crazy. When it comes to dimensions, if I were to design a ballpark, the one thing I would stay away from is a pitcher's park, like a crazy pitcher's park. I think it makes the park worse. I'm not saying you need a crazy short fence, but like what they did with Lone Depot Park, I think they ruined it because it was just such an obnoxious pitcher's park when it opened. It was just hard to get excited about a game there. I don't know. But you can see they've got hotel rooms. This is, this kind of similar thing that the Rogers Center has. Hotel rooms out in left field above the seating. You've also got a hotel lobby down there as well, kind of overlooking the playing field. And then you also do have a hotel event hall that has kind of some nice oval-shaped windows. I really love that design. And then you also do have a drone station. So this is more of, a futuristic stadium. You've got a little drone station there up right above the Uber sign. Next, you can see more views of the hotel rooms from the lobby, from the actual room, and then the event hall with those windows. I really like the architecture on those windows. I think it looks really, really nice overlooking the field out in left field. And then, the whole idea of a hotel, we've seen it once with Rogers Center. We've also kind of seen an office, space area incorporated with the old Rangers ballpark in Arlington. This is like another idea of that. And it's something that's so unique that you really don't see. Would it make sense for Louisville to have this big of a hotel? I don't know. I think if Vegas wanted to incorporate a hotel in their stadium, that would make sense because you're talking about Las Vegas having a lot of tourism. It just seems kind of obvious if you need a place to stay, why not stay and have a room overlooking the ballpark, and you could just go back to your room and watch the game and things like that. That would be cool. And then you can see there is a restaurant out in left field, and then also a little bullpen garden. Oh, I would imagine that's where the bullpens are. So the bullpens, I guess, are either in center field or left center field. I really like the way Citizens Bank Ballpark does their bullpens to where they're like tucked away in a little cranny. If I were to design something, it would definitely, the bullpens would have to be tucked away. I don't like the look of bullpens. I think they're ugly, and I would want them as far away as possible. Obviously, they have to be somewhere, out beyond the fence because you're not going to put them down the line in foul territory. That's just not going to happen this day and age, and it does look bad. I do agree on that. But you can see so the bullpens would be in center field. I would have to try and move those somehow because I would want a green patch in center field. And then, so this is probably the only thing I have a real big issue with. You see like the see-through wall in left field. I think that looks minor league. I would never design something like that if I were to design a stadium. I just think it looks unprofessional. None of my walls would be see-through. I don't know. It's just my opinion. I understand it offers a good view, things like that. The Miami Marlins have something like that with the Clevelander. They've got a pool there, and you can kind of see through the fence and stuff like that. They do it at a lot of stadiums, but me personally, I just don't like that design. But, it's just my opinion. And then they do have a little rooftop thing as well. The team store right in the center field batter's eye. They've got another rooftop bar that I talked about. And then they also do have more outfield suites beyond the two-tier section of seating in right right field. So this is a very, very nice design in terms of a stadium. There's kind of a better look at the center field design. Looks like they've got some type of bar standing room area overlooking the center field batter's eye and above the team shop. And then the bullpens both down there. I would kind of try and redesign the bullpens. Maybe I would put them out in left center field, like one on top of each other, almost stack them to conserve space, and then redesign the center field area, and maybe even add just a few more rows of seating in right center to make the batter's eye a little bit better. But this is a really, really cool design. And then the exterior of it, so this would be called the Palace. It's beautiful, man. There's no doubt about it. It is really, really nice. You've got a hotel. You've got the offices overlooking the field. You've got, a very, very modern upper deck with really no bad seating anywhere. It's something that we just don't see from these designers. And then they say, oh, there's zoning problems. I understand that. But if you're given $2 billion or like $1.5 billion, you really need to come up with something better than Globe Life Field, folks. I'm sorry. I know people keep telling me Globe Life Field is really good. You're given a budget of $2 billion or whatever it is, and it looks like a grill. Okay, it's just a design flaw. I don't know what to tell you. It is a design flaw. You've got kids who are like 16 years old creating this. Like, this is ridiculous. How can kids do this? They really should implement designs like these. But what do we get? We get a Utah crappy design. Looks like the Beijing Winter Olympics in 2022. It's just disgusting. And you can see this is super in-depth. Where is this at? Oh, this is the home plate section. So yes, you can see the tiers right there. You have the lower bowl. You've got a little home plate club, which is that's something that a lot of stadiums have. Then you've got the middle tier, middle club, which is kind of like club seating normally. And then you have the smaller upper deck, and then the restaurant club and the restaurant overlooking right behind home plate. You've also got a little garden back there, maybe a little retail shopping, a team store, things like that behind the home plate club area. The third base section, you've got the offices overlooking the field, gives you a great view from there. Again, if you did want to add more seating, you could replace those offices with another tiered upper deck section, which would probably give you an extra 3,000 or 4,000 in terms of total seats going around. And then you do have the lower upper deck bowl, and then the other two tiers as well on top of that. And then this is the first base section. Once again, very similar. The offices, you've actually got underground parking as well, VIP parking for that. And then this is a different option, it looks like, right there. So, this is a very in-depth design. And then this is just kind of a comparison to SunTrust Park. I do really like the design of SunTrust Park. And you can see, looks like the SunTrust Park model is in blue. So, the seating is a lot lower at this newer proposed stadium. So, that's just the kind of a better template view of it. A lot of greenness, when it comes to the green design, I have to go against that. I think it looks ugly. That's just my opinion. I would not have green roofs. But listen, it is what it is. I know everyone's wants the whole green design in cities and things like that. But either way, this is a really, really cool ballpark. And I did just want to do a review on it, look at it from a few different angles. There it is at night right there. Very limited seating, nice limited, maybe 32,000, I would say, with standing room. You could probably get it to like 35 or 36K. It is a modern design. That's what pretty much everyone is going with. And that is a really nice exterior, almost castle medieval look that is really cool, called the Palace. So that is a really cool design, and I will go ahead and link that in the description. But yeah, if people have designs like this, certainly I'll review them, because these are stadiums that are really cool. And, you've got just different aspects of it that really make it unique. So guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description.